Yo, what's up everybody? It's me, Robert Muraine. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be getting into the first tutorial ever on this channel, how to snap your leg behind your head without using your hands. Let's get into it. So I'm super excited. This is going to be the first tutorial of many to come. I'm going to be doing these from now until forever, so get used to them. And I decided to start off with a move that's been highly requested on how to do, and actually not many people can do it. And I've never seen a tutorial online for it, so I hope to fill that void. Now, it's not an easy trick, and I highly recommend that you guys take your time with this. Don't try and rush it. It really is an advanced trick. It's something that I do at the end of my act every day. I save it for the end, and it's something that's dangerous. So please take your time with this. Do not rush. I've been doing it for 15 years. This is one of my signature moves, and so if you're not easily able to get to the places and positions that I'm able to get into, then please just take your time and let your body adjust. That being said, let's get into the first stretch. The first stretch is a pretty basic stretch, but it's not an easy stretch, and that is the splits. And I'm not gonna go straight into this full splits, but this is something that I like to sit on before I get started because I like to warm up my body before I start warming up my legs and my hips to where they get to that really crazy point. So you're gonna wanna warm up your body before you do all this. At least build up a sweat so that way your muscles are loose and ready to go for stretching. So I just like to lower my body just a bit on this stretch here. And I normally hold each position for about 20 to 30 seconds. And you're gonna wanna breathe, inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose if you can, but through your mouth. Take your time with all of this. You're not supposed to rush when you're stretching, you're supposed to relax, and it should be a meditative experience. So take your time and exhale. So just for demonstration's sake, I'm gonna be doing these a little bit faster than normal, but I would highly recommend that you take your time. So this next stretch is a yoga pose. This one is supposed to help you with digestion, and it's also gonna help you open up your thigh right here to where it'll be even closer to being able to snap back behind your neck. So on this stretch, you're going to want to make sure that your rear leg is perpendicular to the plane of your shoulders and your pelvis, and you want to make sure your pelvis and shoulders are in the same plane as well. So you don't want to have a twisted pelvis and a twisted hip. You actually want to straighten it as much as you can, and you can pull this leg up and straighten your pelvis if you have to, and prop up your body a little bit if you can't get that flat split yet. You can hold your body up like this and prop it up. Of course, breathe on all of these stretches. And you're gonna wanna lower your body on top of this leg in as far as you possibly can go. And day by day, week by week, you should be able to lay down entirely on top of this leg. And it actually ends up starting to feel really good. So if at first it hurts, take your time, don't force yourself. Eventually you're going to want to be able to lay on this leg, and it feels really good once you get it to this point. Take about 20 or 30 seconds on this position, open back up on your hips, and then do the other side. So make sure you do everything on both sides. You're gonna thank me later by me telling you this, because if you end up straining one side of your body for many years, you're gonna regret not learning the other side of your body, because that balance is really important for us humans. So once you've finished up this side, you're gonna go back into the splits position, and you're gonna notice that your hips are gonna be even more wide open, and you're gonna be able to drop your splits just a little bit further than the last time. And believe it or not, all of this really, really, really helps get your leg behind your head. Because you're gonna want those hips to be wide open when you finally are able to put it behind your head. Now this next stretch is again a yoga pose, and this is one of my favorite poses of all time because it absolutely eliminates lower back pain. And it is a savior for me. It's something that counterbalances what I do with my back when I arch, and it also counterbalances the leg behind my head, which are two things that I do multiple times a day, and I have to counterbalance somehow with it, and this stretch is key. So you're gonna open up your arms, stay in that splits position, and you're gonna reach over, keep your shoulder plane here, and you're gonna reach, don't reach forward in front of you, reach around, up top, and you're gonna try and touch your toe like so. And you're going to point your face at your knee so you don't have a weird twisted neck that will eventually hurt later, that I used to do. You take your time and breathe. You're gonna feel this open up right here, which is also a big help. As you guys can see, this is totally almost the same kind of position as if you're putting your leg behind your head, except we're also in the splits. So this warming up is totally gonna help compensate your body. Now when you come up, prop up your body with your other hand, because you don't wanna come up too fast. You're coming from an awkward position, you don't wanna pull any muscles. And then lower yourself to the other side and touch your toes. Point your head up your knee and breathe. I actually forgot to show you guys something. You can actually bring your arm up. If you do tuts, I do tuts and hat tricks a lot, and this actually helps open up these muscles right here. So this is just a little bonus stretch that I do while I'm in this position. Then you can work on your lines as well. And like I just said, it really just relieves tension right here in the side of your upper back. And then drop it back down. I tend to repeat this one on both sides a couple times because, like I said, it relieves that lower back pain, and who needs lower back pain? I'd rather take the 30 seconds extra and do everything twice. So hopefully by the end of this position, you're going to be able to be so warm that you'll be able to completely flatten your body on the floor while staying in the splits position. Now, it's not just gonna come like this by watching this video once, but you're gonna actually have to train for many months to be able to actually get it this far every day. Once you miss a day or two, you're gonna pay for it later, and you're gonna have to warm up extra the next time you warm up. So it is a daily ritual. I only take 1 day off a week from this, so keep that in mind. Professional dancing, make sure to breathe. Now, like I said, I'm gonna shorten all of these for demonstration's sake. And now I'm gonna go into this move, but there's this little secret technique. If you've done yoga before, you might know it, but you put your chin to your chest and you kind of roll down from the top of your back to the lower part until you kind of suck in your stomach until you get as close to your knees as possible. And you're gonna breathe. You can't touch your toes yet, don't worry about it, just put weight on the front. You're not gonna be able to do this right away, so definitely take your time with all of these moves. The final position that you're gonna want to end up being in all of these positions is where I'm at now. So please bear with me and take your time on all of these. And I recommend that you come back to this video if you've found that you've forgotten the stretches, because it is easy to forget something, and if you forget one thing, you end up forgetting one thing day by day, and you end up not stretching your entire body, and you only stretch part of it, leads to injury. Remember your stretches, remember your positions. So now that we're finished with these basic stretches, I'm gonna show you guys the actual leg behind the head stretches. So there's this stretch, which is almost similar to the one we did earlier, but instead of reaching around, you're gonna be reaching forward, the opposite arm. And it's an easy stretch. It shouldn't feel too bad compared to the other ones I showed you. But I've actually modified this stretch to work to where you can get your leg behind the head. Now, what I like to do is turn this stretch actually into a stretch for this leg. And the way I do that is actually putting this leg on top of the straightened leg, putting my hands back here for support, straightening my back, and then actually bending the straight leg, and which in turn brings your other leg closer and closer to your chest. And eventually, you're gonna be able to get it to where it can fit under your neck, and you can bring your chin to your knee. And that is ultimately the position that you want to be in, because that is very, very close and very similar to having it here. It's one of the closest, most comfortable ways to practice for it. Now, please, please, I cannot stress it enough, take your time on this stretch. The joints and ligaments here, they can get easily hurt, and you have to make sure that you don't damage them, especially while you're young. So take care on all of these things and take your time doing this. You're going to slowly but surely want to bring up chin to your knee. That is ultimately where you want to be. So those were the basic stretches I wanted to show you on how to snap your leg behind your head. But there's actually a technique on how to do this, and that's what I wanted to get into next. Now, before we get into that, I would also like to add that just sitting, watching TV, doing your homework, doing anything where you're trying to pass time and sitting like this or sitting like this is absolutely necessary to also getting your leg behind your head. It needs to become so comfortable that you can sit here and talk or sit here and do something normal while being in this position. And that's one of the keys to a lot of flexibility, is staying in these positions to where they become comfortable enough for you to explore and create with the positions. So finally, I think we're about ready to get into the technique on how to snap your leg behind your head without your hands. And the first step to doing that is actually just a kick. And you're just gonna slowly, in the beginning, see how it feels, because you can very easily pull a muscle in the back of your leg by doing this. But it starts off as a straight kick back. And you're going to bring your knee to your chest. And that is the first step. So let's see, from behind. Boom. 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 The next step is actually doing a little, say if my elbow was my knee, you're gonna actually, when your leg is fully extended, bend that knee just a little bit and open your hip, and your foot should slide right behind your head, which leads to the third step. And so right when you feel your foot hit the back of your head, you're gonna wanna try and push your head back and lock your foot behind your cranium. And it's a timing thing, so it may not happen the first couple tries. You might end up kicking the top of your head, so be careful. The locking step is super important in trying to get that leg to stick. Because in the beginning, you're gonna feel the leg get behind your head and you're like, I'm getting it, but why is it not sticking? You're gonna have to lock it. And if you don't lock it, it's just gonna fly out every time. And another pro tip is that if you wear shoes, it actually really helps with momentum and actually getting the leg to stick behind your head. Because the rubber will actually kind of lock up on your skin. And if you're wearing socks or some kind of slippery material, it's really easy for your leg to slip back out on your hair. And if you have long hair, it's even worse. So try and keep short hair if you're trying to do this in the beginning, because it will be much easier, trust me, and wear shoes. So let's go over step by step. You're going to be straightening your leg, opening your hips, and bending your leg out. So you're gonna kick your leg back, open your hips, and bend your leg. Kick your leg back straight, open your hips, and bend your leg. Kick your leg back straight, open your hips, and bend your leg. And you're gonna be doing this all simultaneously, those 3 steps, all in 1 second. And this is the hard part. So it's the straight kick, bend your leg, and then lock with your neck. Straight kick, bend your knee, lock behind your neck. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you learned something today, if you found this educational, entertaining, or any of that stuff, please leave me a like. Please leave me feedback in the comments. And please let me know what you guys would like to learn next. That's it for today. If you guys enjoyed it, please subscribe. Until next time, peace out.